Carmen Marie Cotts, and Raymond Howard Cotts. And Chris, this is for you. Mainly because neither of you, any of you, have had the balls, the ovaries, or the backbone to ever have an adult conversation, neutral and unbiased, face to face with me. You didn't drive to my farmhouse to talk to me. You didn't ask me over to talk to me. You never met me in town somewhere when I was on my business errands to talk to me. So now I'm going to talk to you like this, in the best way I know how to do. But now I'm not going to talk. Now I'm going to verbally tear you guys apart. I'm going to expose the truth that you don't want to see. I'm going to point out the narrative that you seem to twist. I'm going to rip your asshole a new asshole and make you guys shit yourself twice. Because you see, you guys, oh, have I seen many of you guys in my life. Hell, my own mother resembles you two. Except for the drug use, of course. But you guys are so quick to hear whispers and words and believe them because they fit the narrative that you want to believe. They're your propaganda. You guys don't know shit about me. Other how I speak, how I look, where I come from, the color of my goddamn skin. You don't know me. But you guys have no problem creating a narrative and a story to fuel your own hate for me when you don't know shit about me. And I get it. Two white Midwesterners having disdain without knowledge of a Arab in the Midwest. That's the common narrative, right? Go look at everything about you. And I don't want to hear that I'm wrong, because I've been to 107 countries in my lifetime. I've gotten perspective, and I see how dynamics work. Hell, I went to college and got my associates in psychosociology, the study of human behavior, how you think, why you act out. Let's start with one of the problems. Raymond, you have once told me, for whatever reason, you could crush me with your wallet. Let's break this down, shall we, Raymond? You work as a driver. I make music to inspire. I step inside the cage and put my body on the line and fight for a living. I fight inside a ring for the entertainment of people. I publish poems and speak truths that people like you won't hear and speak out on. Your wallet couldn't crush my wallet, let alone crush me, because I am the definition of rags to riches without the riches. I don't drive a fancy car, I don't live in a house, I don't need all that. Hell, you once had a cat named Nigger Kitty, right, Mr. Racist? And yet I'm the problem? See, you proved to be a deadbeat father, not because you picked a fight with me, which you know you can't win, not because you're egotistical, not because you're racist, not because you're narcissistic, not because you bat a blind eye and choose to ignore all the trauma and the abuse goes on in your household. No. You're a deadbeat because your daughter, aka son, Olivia, aka Jax, didn't turn out how you wanted them to. And what's that old saying? You hate what you cannot understand. People hate what they cannot understand. You hate your own spawn because you cannot understand it. And see, I understand we live in a world that's so polarized that just because you're a parent, you're automatically family. Fuck no. See, family is not blood or marriage or who came out of whose nuts or who came out of whose womb. It's loyalty. The moment Jax want to have an identity for themselves and be different and was diagnosed with problems, you gave up. And we're not talking about how you let them stay under the house. No. You ridiculed them. You let them go through hell. And listen, they may be a pathological liar. But you know what else is? Me. But you know what isn't lied about? Actions. How they react. How they respond. How they think. How they want to be. Their actions speak more truth than their words do. They may lie and be a pot stirrer. But when push comes to shove and chaos appears, their actions are humble and honest. See, you have driven your own child, Jax, from Olivia Cotts to Jack Sterling Holloway, a name that I adorned them because it applies to them and their identity. An identity that you don't approve of, you don't love, you don't appreciate. You'd be better off not telling your kids you love them because you don't, because your actions don't follow through. And what I know about parenting, I'm the oldest of 12. When my mom failed and my dad wasn't there, I had to take reins and raise the brother after me, and then tripling sisters, and then triplet brothers, and then twin sisters, and then twin brothers. I was a parent long before I hit the age of 10. Hell, I'm more of an adult now and a parent to the people I help than you are to your own fucking goddamn kids. Hell, you are being fathered by me right now, explaining the truth, so you are my son, boy. But you wouldn't know this. Because every time you had a debacle, you were so caught up trying to be this blue-collar badass that you're not, in order to deflect from having a conversation with me, as you're supposed to, when all you had to say was you crushed me through my wallet. And you couldn't even back that up. Because money doesn't mean shit if it doesn't show up in your coffin in the afterlife, dummy. And Carmen, Jax's mother, same problem goes with you. You have all these safeguards in play, but they're not for Jax. They're for you. Because once again, Jax's identity, they wanted to embrace being trans. They embraced the autism. They embraced them being ADHD. They embraced them being a little slow. They embraced them being creative. They embraced them being one of a kind. You know who helped them embrace who they were instead of hiding it and being ashamed because people like you want to drill them down? Me. I have been a better person in the few years that I've known Jax than you have to your own child. You and that Chris. But once again, what has happened? Not once did you, as a decent mother or a human being, ever want to have a conversation with me. And I've said this countless fucking times. And what do? You ignore it. You're too busy. Blah, 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 blah. I travel between here and Nevada and California for work, to wrestle, to fight. I'm in the studio, frequently making music. I'm at the library, frequently writing my poems and publishing them. And I have all the time in the world to discuss with people who act beneath me, but act like they're fucking above me somehow. See, I get called egotistical, narcissistic, pathological liar, delusional. No. You, Raymond, are. You and your ex-husband, the father of Jax, you guys are. Because here's the thing, I'm only an asshole to people who are an asshole. I treat people accordingly. You hear? And even now, this is not registering in those chromosomes in your fucking head. But I get it. Because let me tell you what's going to happen. And why we got to this point. The time for you both. Raymond, Carmen, the time for you guys and Chris to be civil and talk to me is done. Hell, anything you have to say bad about me is now slander because of my non-profit organization that I run. Which you guys are not members of. Jax is a Rhyolite. You guys aren't a Rhyolite. You guys don't deserve to be a Rhyolite. Because Jax is a misfit. They're the black sheep of the family. And you guys made them that way because you couldn't accept them for who they were. They seemed like a handful to you guys because you guys were too weak to step up your game. If I can handle them, what's your excuse that you can't? Because growing up in an immigrant Egyptian family, we learned all the core values of being humble, being part of a family, and you guys have tainted and tarnished what being part of a family is. See, my mother is a schizophrenic, alcoholic, drug user. At a young age, I was aware enough to know I'm not going to live my life according to who I came from. I embraced my lineage. I embraced the 4 voices in my head. I embraced my ADHD, my OCD. I embraced my disruptive mood disorder, my reactive attachment disorder. I embraced my depression, my anxiety. I embraced my DID. I embraced the dissociative identity disorder. I embraced my bipolar. I didn't let it hinder me. I embraced it, which is why people like you hate everything about me. It's not because the things I do, the things I say, the bad shit I bring up. It's because I have been through everything and I've gotten stronger, better, faster, and smarter with every piece of trauma. No matter what the truth or the circumstances is, you guys let Jax down. Both of you. It's one thing to be the statistic of a child of divorced parents. Some people can live with that. But you guys have made it worse. Because at least the humor of it, which is sometimes true, is that you have to figure out which is the better parent. And my God, both you guys have dropped the fucking ball. Raymond is a overanalyzed egomaniac. And Carmen, you're this white picket fence fantasy that doesn't exist. But I get it. But see, you guys have had preconceived notions of me based on what you heard, what you may have seen. You guys have never talked to me face to face like adults. No. You guys have never taken a peek inside my mind and why I operate, which I don't blame you because it'd break you. Because you guys couldn't walk in my shoes if they were custom fitted. I could walk in yours and live both your lives every single day. Because once you live my life in the short 27 years that I've been alive, you grow up quick, you grow up hard, and you become durable, you become resilient, you become perseverant. And see, I know the world's against me. I'm a tattooed, Middle Eastern, pansexual, first-generation immigrant, practically. So I get it. But do you think I give a fuck about what people think of me? Do you hear that? No. See, Raymond, Carmen, let me tell you what is going to happen. And you are going to listen very fucking carefully because you are going to hear about this through a screen because you don't want to hear about this plan face to face because you lack the balls and the ovaries to do so. is eventually right now you have driven Jax away. They already have the idea to disown you once they're home. And not talk about your guys' home. The home that I'm building for people like Jax and everyone else. Hell, the Rhyolites are now operating in 3 states with 90 members. Eventually, Jax is going to get approved for Social Security. Because you and the state let them down. Then, they are going to visit Las Vegas. And you're not going to act two-faced about it. You're not going to then want to have all the attention and then want to spend time with Jax. No. Because they're no longer a Cotts. Legally, sure. What the fuck ever. But who cares about legal identity, right? They are now Jax Sterling Holloway. The name that I adorn them because their name has meaning now. They have meaning. They have purpose. They have embraced being different. They're going to get Social Security. They're going to come visit Vegas and my home and my people and my safe haven in my kingdom. A place that I have influence over. Like Pablo Escobar has to fucking Cuba. Like Fidel Castro has to Cuba. Like Putin has to Russia. My name is synonymous with Vegas. So they're going to visit Vegas. I'm going to get them accustomed to it. Then, out of my $800,000 settlement, I'm going to buy a property. I'm going to buy a house and land. They are going to come live with me and my family and my friends and the other Rhyolites in my kingdom with my army. And you are going to sit back and move on with your life. You let them down. Simple. So Carmen, Raymond, because Jax is an ADHD, OCD, transgender, autistic, broken individual, you gave up on them and let them down. Because they didn't turn out how you wanted them to turn out. They didn't live up to your expectations, so you basically threw them to the curb. Hell, Raymond, you let a 20-year-old pedophile live with you and you treated her better than your own kid. How can you guys be such piece of shit parents with the audacity to talk about me, not to my face, when you don't know shit about me? See, Raymond, you talked about being able to crush me with your wallet. You couldn't even do that. Because if you strip away that house, your job, that money, and you and me are on the same level, I still surpass your dumbass every day of the year, in any era, in any decade. Because the moment people like you hold me down, we only push back harder. That's what Jax did. I helped Jax embrace who she was. See, y'all call me controlling. No. I'm manifesting destiny. I'm giving someone hope, purpose, stability, and structure because their own goddamn sperm donor and womb deliverer parents failed them. I'm sorry Jax didn't turn out how you guys wanted to. But I enjoy and see them and appreciate them, and I help them regardless of who they are. As a wise man once said, and Raymond, Carmen, listen closely in your old age. If you follow the light, it will lead you back home. But if not, follow the buzzards and don't astray. If you have any quarrels or any grievances, any cries, bitches, moaning, complaints, pull up to my house. Pull up, drive down that property, drive down the driveway, up to my farmhouse, and have an adult conversation with me. Because you may be able to claim to crush me with your wallet, but I think this only goes to show I have obliterated you and exposed you with the truth. Next time, if you're going to twist my words, twist it like the rope that people hang themselves with, and strap yourself up for a ride. Because I assure you, there's nothing you can do or say to me that's going to hurt me, hinder me, affect me, or keep me down. So Raymond, Carmen, steer stepdad, Chrissy, old pal, I'm going to take what you created, what you birthed, and what you raised, and me and my organization are going to make them into what they were destined to be. You didn't appreciate them or love them because of their ways. You didn't appreciate they're trans, autistic, and that ruffled your feathers. So now, I'm going to mold them into something they can be proud of. I'm proud of them just for existing. I accept them for who they are. Everything, good and bad. Every lie, every truth, every trauma, every strength. I embrace, I help, I support, I encourage, and I lift them up. I think it's safe to say, I'm the father, the mother, the brother, the sister, and the family that they never had. Because you killed Olivia Cotts. I helped and uplifted and encouraged and created and embraced and supported Jax Sterling Holloway. I am her family now. You guys are just a tumor that is going to be removed. Thank the gods in the afterlife. Next time, you use your words. Think very carefully when you speak to me. Don't waste time that you don't have. Because now, like I said, I'm their family now. And you guys, as parents, you guys are now kids to me. Have a nice life.